make coffee on the show. Guys, you know what we do. Pour yourself a cup of coffee. Join the comments because we're going to throw some of your comments right here in the show. We're going to have some fun with it today. We are talking about the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am.
Oh, yeah.
As well as a whole bunch of other stuff. We're going to get started here in a second. So gives you a quick second. Like, guys, pour your coffee. Get ready. Get the keyboards ready. Join us in the comments. Got some people jumping in here now.
Let's get some
Perfect.
people in here.
Got, again, doing it different this week. Brewing our own coffee.
Brewing. Fresh brewed.
Fresh. This is fresh brewed today.
All right. I'm going to have you handle this, though.
You want me to handle this? I think
It's
I can do
just
this.
straight
Ready?
up then.
Here we go.
Let's see.
There you go. Oh, you can just feel it. That's good coffee.
That's
right
good
there.
coffee right there.
That's good coffee. All right, guys. Welcome, everybody, to Coffee and Golf every Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. This is when we get a chance to sit down, drink a cup of coffee, and talk golf, especially getting to hear your take. Throw your takes in the comments. Don't be shy. We want to hear from you guys. We're going to talk about a lot today. We're going to talk about the Pebble Beach Pro-Am. We're going to talk about Ricky Fowler, a little bit of a buzz going on back and forth, whether or not he's overrated. We're going to talk about that. I want to hear you guys' opinions on it.
We're going to talk Brooks.
We're going to talk Brooks. That's right.
We're
going to talk about Brooks bumping Spieth out of the Ryder Cup. For now, anyway. So lots to talk about. Of course, we're going to do our Heartbreak of the week later. We've got another fun segment. We're actually going to take a crack at number 7 at Pebble.
I love it. I'm staring at it right now.
We're going to take a little quick
the
crack
waves crashing.
of that. Yep, that's fun. And then, because we can't play outside. Again, today, here's your update. It's 21 degrees in New Jersey. 21 degrees.
It looks like you're playing Pebble today.
It does. So this. I'll tell you what I did here. So this is I call this my California dreaming outfit, right? Because I wanted somehow to warm it up a little bit. So I'm wearing the palm trees here. I've got the aloha hat. This is my way of bringing bringing some sort of warmth here to where we're at. So again, everybody who joins us, thank you. Good morning, everybody. Good to see people tuning in from all over the place here. Great to see all you guys. Like I said, jump in the comments. That's why we do a live show. We want to hear from you guys. So, Mike, let's kick it off
Can
right
we
here.
have the coffee
first, yeah,
first?
let's pour some coffee because
I'm dying here.
I'll tell you what, take it. I know, like you got the itch there. Go ahead. Just pour. This guy's first day using a press.
Look at this. Ready?
There. Oh, fresh.
Look at that.
Perfect.
How's that?
That's good for now. You got the whole thing. We'll kill that whole thing over this time. All right, so I want to talk about Kepca's win because, I mean, this kind of – okay, here. Cheers. How was it?
Not bad.
Strong?
Strong. It's very strong. Definitely going to get us through.
We like that jet fuel.
That'll get us through the day.
Right? That'll get us through. This live is going to be 10 minutes long. We're going to be like – So, anyway, let's talk Kepca, Mike.
All right, let's dive right into it. So, Kepca grabs a win at the Waste Management, and no one kind of really saw this one coming.
And he's won here before.
He's won there before. And it's interesting because I was looking at the leaderboard. This guy, he went 66-65 on the weekend. At Waste Management, at Phoenix, what is it called? TPC Scottsdale. Did I get that right? TPC Scottsdale. Yeah. At TPC Scottsdale, at that event, you have to fire pretty much all of your rounds in the 60s to win.
Yes.
Kepca did it.
You see some of these guys who missed the cut, and they had terrific rounds.
Terrific rounds. I mean, look at Jordan: 66, 67, 67, 61, then 72 on Sunday.
Yeah,
that'll knock you right out at that place.
Well, that's what just shows that at the end of the day, Kepca, when he's healthy, which I think he kind of showed us, the guy is a competitor. You get guys who struggle in that Sunday spotlight, and then you get guys who absolutely thrive in it. I think Kepca was thriving on the fact that there were fans back. He's the other guy. He wants that. He feeds off that energy. And then on top of that, to have him come in and do what he did on Sunday, right? And then everybody else in the field just hearing footsteps.
Yep.
I mean, we saw some great rounds earlier in the week, but it's just that consistency he showed. It was a strong field, not a terrifically strong field this week, but last week was a strong field. And at the end of the day, Kepca pulled it off. And I think that should be
Did he
everyone.
shut up the doubters?
I think everyone in that who's playing in the majors this year should feel a little bit more nervous now.
I think so. I think he needed to win. He needed to get that off his back. He made the coach change, firing Claude Harmon. Everyone thought it was going to work against him. Like, how can you just up and fire your coach, the guy that's won you all these, helped you win all these majors, blah, blah, blah. Turns out he proved everyone wrong.
Yeah, it was like I said, it was a terrific thing to see. And then did you guys see this news? So Kepka's win actually, and we know that there's a lot of Patrick Reed haters out there. So there were a lot of people who were rejoicing over this. But Patrick Reed, it bumped him out of the Ryder Cup.
Which is interesting because he just won, but it didn't matter.
Right. As far as the standings go. Now, there's a lot of time still left. There's also, of course, I know what you guys are going to say in the comments, is the captain's pick.
Yep.
But throw it in the comments. Let's say we get to that point in the season and Patrick Reed is not an automatic on the team. If he's not an automatic based on his rank, do you put him on the team? I mean, we're talking Captain America. We're talking a guy who has a winning record at the Ryder Cup. However, he also, he has a little bit of, trouble certain times getting along. There's a certain degree of strife that causes.
Oh, sure. Mm-hmm.
So if you're a captain, you might be thinking, oh, this is a burden to find who am I going to pair this guy with. So if he's not automatically on as a captain, you can kind of not make that pick and then not have to deal with that. But
how can you not?
But how can you not? I mean, the guy wins. What do you guys think? I want to hear.
Yeah, he's a winner. If I'm Stricker, I'm putting him on the team.
Yeah.
Is Strick the captain? Yeah, he is.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I think I'm with you. At the end of the day, again, there's still a lot of golf to be played, but unless somebody else was a clear standout of why they should be picked over him, I think he's got to be right at the top of the list.
But do you think someone's not going to perform because they don't like their playing partner in a Ryder Cup? Come on.
Well, yeah,
you're going to play your game.
Right, and then you can make that argument about Spieth, because we saw them like a little bit butting heads, but didn't Spieth end up playing better?
I believe he did.
Europe will win either way. So there you go. So look,
I don't know. I just think that I think he's a definite captain's pick if he doesn't make it by points. I think regardless, we see Patrick Reed this year at the Ryder Cup.
And here, J.J. Baker says he's playing lights out, but too many better options. So he says he wouldn't make his team. Well, that is another thing, too. There's a strength of field. And I want to talk about that when we talk about Ricky in a minute, talk about strength of field. But, yeah, it's going to be a tough call no matter what. It's going to be a tough call.
It really is. But I bet my bottom dollar he will be on the Ryder Cup team. There's just those guys. Like, remember one year, I think Poulter, did nothing, but they just picked him because he's Mr. Ryder Cup for Europe.
Yeah. Well, look, and like I said, he performs in the Ryder Cup, and also at the end of the day, this might be a moot point. The guy is playing well week over week. He may just move himself up in the rankings enough just to be on the team anyway, and then you go, it's a moot point. So who knows? But speaking of being back, let's talk a little bit about Spieth. I mean, I think everyone was really excited to see what we saw out of Jordan last week.
Yeah, he led most of the way, right? He was, that's 61 on Saturday. I thought it was in the bag for Jordan.
Yeah.
But he couldn't close.
He couldn't close it out, but I think what I'm most happy about is seeing a little bit of his swagger back.
Yes, smiles, stuff like that.
Making some of those shots, the shots that give you confidence. Speaking of which, he had that terrific hole out yesterday at Pebble Beach.
That pullback eagle on a string.
I mean, that is sick. If that doesn't build confidence for you,
but
I
that's
don't know
just
what
it.
is.
Confidence. Plus, like I said, we're seeing him laugh again with Michael Greller. Like, we've seen Jordan for the past few years just sulk his head with his caddy.
Right. It's
just down and out.
You're right. It's a completely different body language that we're seeing this last couple. And you're starting to see, I saw he did an interview where he talked about how he was a little bit too stubborn. He waited a little bit too long to reach out for help from some of the other players that's what the one thing that you sometimes don't realize, that they're all pure competitors, but how close these guys are. When the couple of events that we've been to, and when you're inside the ropes, you really see it. These guys are friends. They're getting Airbnbs together. They're like really, when it's outside of that 18, playing 18, these guys are super tight, super supportive.
Sure.
I know he's good friends with Justin Thomas, and so
it's cool to see. I mean,
it is cool.
And Woe writes he says Jordan is back. Reed and the big boss, Reed and Spieth should make it 100%. I agree. I think they'll both be on the team. Spieth, I don't know. He's got to win. I think he has to win this year to be on the team. Yeah. He needs a win under his belt.
Well,
and a couple more top tens, I think. I don't even know if he's going to make it as a point pick, but as a captain's pick, if anything.
It's a tough call. But like I said, no matter what, I think as all of us are relieved to see him playing better, and he's right in the mix. Where is he right now? He's fourth? right now at Pebble, I think.
Right now, Spieth is fourth. He's 3 back off the lead. But I see here from one of the comments that he's playing Spyglass today, which is a whole different animal.
Yeah, well, and that's the hard part, too, because you look at the scores after round one, and then you realize, well, they haven't swapped courses yet.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, kind of speaking about that, we'll talk a little bit about the Pebble Beach in a second. But before we do, I want to put 60 seconds on the clock and debate this one. There was an article on Golficity the other day, just earlier this week. Joe Woke mentioned that he felt that after the performance that we saw last week, another missed cut from Ricky Fowler, saying that this is kind of his evidence, with all due respect, of course, that he's overrated. And I don't agree with that opinion. I'll tell you why in a second. But what I do think is important is that we can have an opinion here. So that's one of the biggest things that we've tried to do with Golficity and with the whole universe that we're creating with the website and the app, is give people an opportunity to speak. You know what I mean? Golf is so cool because we're made up of such a widely different demographic, and there's so many different opinions. That's cool. That's what gets the conversation going. That's when we have our coffee and debate it.
Exactly.
Right? So I think that's what we've always tried to do, is give a chance to have people have a voice, have a platform that you can't just up and write for Golf Digest, but if we see somebody who's very passionate and they want to write for us, they do. So Joe, came in and he made his point. You guys can go back and check out the article on Golficity, but he made his point saying that Ricky Fowler is overrated. And drop in the comments. Let us know what you guys think. I'll put a quick 60 seconds on the clock. I'll give you my take, and then Mike, you can kind of give me yours.
Sure.
But first of all, running through the pure stats, here's a guy who's got 5 PGA Tour wins, including the Players. Here's another one. 72 top 10 finishes in his career, over $40 million in earnings, and he's qualified for just about every major over the last decade. Also, don't forget, this is a guy who's 32 years old. He has 10 more good years at least in him where he can do even more. So while I think you can maybe make the case that he is underperformed, given his raw talent, you could say he could have done a little bit more. I can't say that he's overrated. If anything, I think what Ricky might be a little bit of a victim of is this extreme strength of field. He comes in and he's having the bulk of his career during a spot when we've seen the best, by far the best competition on the PGA Tour. Just run through the names. Everybody from Tiger still playing, Mike, to Rory, Jordan had his big stretch there, Justin Thomas. I mean, if you put Ricky Fowler in any other era, he has more wins. I mean, it's the same argument you could say about Phil with Tiger. He's up against Tiger in his prime all those years, but still. And also, when you say overrated, I know I'm over my minute, but I got to go on this one. When you say overrated, rated as opposed to what? If you're classifying a player just on their wins, I mean, $40 million in career earnings is pretty darn good.
Yeah.
But what Ricky has done for the game, he's brought younger people to the game. He's been an entertaining figure in the game. He's been good for everybody else. He's super supportive of all of his other friends on tour. And on top of that, he's been a good, clean role model in the spotlight for a long time. This guy has not slipped up. Everybody slips up.
Right.
This guy has not slipped up. So those are my reasons why I think that Ricky you can't call him overrated. You could say you feel like he's underperformed a little bit, but I don't think he's overrated.
Yeah, and I mean, I can't really go any longer than that because I totally agree with everything you said. But the thing, I'll just put a bow on it and say, Ricky didn't have that Jordan year. He never had that year that Jordan had. I believe it was 2015 where he was just unstoppable.
Yeah.
And then when you're like that, when you're unstoppable, then the critics, when you're not like that anymore, then they start to scratch your head. What happened to you? Where'd you go? Right. Ricky's just been like steady Eddie. He's never won a major, 5 PGA Tour wins, 72 top 10s, $40 million in earnings, probably $1 gazillion in earnings off course from all his endorsements, and all of those great points you made about what he's done for the game. So I agree with you. I think Ricky is one of the greatest guys for the game, and still a fan.
Right, and that's why I'm saying it's a subjective thing of what you're considering. To be overrated, It's got to be what are you rating him against. And I see it. I see you guys' comments. I respect that. A lot of you guys are saying he doesn't have the ability to finish and things like that. I think right now he's in a slump. I mean, Jordan knows slumps. He saw it. But at the end of the day, like I said, I think that He's done so much for the game. He's so entertaining to watch play, and I think he's got areas of his game that are so good.
Yep.
The way he putts, his wedge game.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, forget about it. So I just think it's just a matter of he's got just a couple of spots that could have turned that corner. But the guy's a player's champ, too. So
yeah, exactly. And I want to go to some of the comments here because they're flying in. Pete McCann threw a little yen our way. Thanks, Pete. It really depends on your criteria. If you're going to have a discussion on overrated, underrated, better to get ground rules. So just like you said.
Right. That's it. The ground rules. What are you rating him against? And I get it. If you try to rate him against pure performance, but it's hard to argue against 72 top 10s. 72 top, 40 million in career earnings in a tour that is so fleeting, and we see guys come and go. Some guys are hot and then gone. Mahan. I'm thinking.
Yeah, look at Mahan.
Stuff like that. They to have as steady of a career and always be in contention. This might be the first Masters that he's missed in his career.
I believe
As
so.
of right now, it's the first time he's not qualifying. So it's a tough one.
Yeah, and Seahawks 12th man says Ricky was top 5 in every major in 2014. So we know he has the game. It's just a matter of, is it still there, and will we see it ignite again?
Yeah.
We'll see.
That's it. All right, so let's dive a little bit into this week to Pebble Beach, right?
Yeah, let's go Pebble.
So get this, Mike. I saw this the other day, and I got to show everybody here. Sometimes it just takes a small graphic to put some things in perspective. Take a look at this. So Golf TV put this out. Every green on the front 9 at Pebble Beach fits into the 18th green at the old course.
Yeah, that's nuts.
So now you really realize how small those greens are. I mean, look at number 4 and 7. And we're going to show you how small 7
is small, yeah.
in a second here. But look how small those greens are. And now put into the idea of it being windy out there, and you're trying to hit these little greens.
Yeah,
it's
GIR
tough.
is not a big stat this week, I'm sure. And if you can be very great with that stat, then you're going to have a great chance of winning at Pebble.
Yeah.
But you're right, the wind, the greens, I mean, that's insane. And we stood on that green.
We stood on that green. It is a big green.
Yeah.
I will give you that. But still, it doesn't seem like so big as that if you're standing on it that you could think you could fit an entire front 9 worth of greens on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah, definitely not.
It is wild. So, all right. So, I want to show you guys this video. Right before we went live, we jumped into the simulator and we took our own crack. Let me just find this video on my computer here. We took our own crack at number 7 in the sim. Have a watch.
Not easy. We think it's easy because it's 107 yards downhill.
107 downhill, and we did not play it with the wind up.
Nope, we didn't. I love the waves crashing in.
Because you can turn the wind up in the sim.
You get the full
So I went with the 52-degree wedge here, Mike.
Yep, 52.
I was really just focusing on getting the distance right.
First swing of the week.
Distance right. Got to get that distance right. And look how small that green is. I felt like that was a good shot.
That is a small green.
106 yards, just left of it. Here you go.
All right, 60-degree, little downhill.
Mike's going with the 60
I'm
degree,
going to go
showing
60
me
degree.
up.
You know, because it's downhill. I didn't want to fly it.
There you go.
I had the
that
distance
line.
somewhat, right?
Gotta be enough.
Get
got a
that
good line
distance.
here.
Oh,
I just had to get that.
that's a postage
that one hop
stamp
bounce
of a
up.
green.
That is small.
that's a small green.
green, guys.
Pete McCann wants us to do commentary.
We both had the yardage right.
That's great.
There, somehow I got him there, though.
Oh.
I must have been a little bit closer.
But we didn't end
Guess
there.
I was closer. Does that mean?
Closer,
I guess I was closer.
No, when you don't hit
Does
the
it
green,
matter when nobody hits the green?
Doesn't matter.
That's
Let's go a little Jordy Spieth here. 4-iron.
We're going to do a 4-iron? Okay, hold on.
Had to try it.
Let's try it. Open it up like Jordan. We're going to end up taking our monitor.
Yeah, I
out.
know. Don't open it up too much.
So I'm I gonna was get worried the, about hitting, and I'm just gonna
filleting
go
one
a
into
little
that
lower.
monitor there.
Okay? 100-yard downhill 4-iron. So Jordan made this look easy.
He made it look simple.
Oh boy.
I tried just kind of like a little
It's so
soft
hard,
little
that's gone.
punch down there.
Oh, that's gone.
It's hard
Had
to
that
control.
face open and boom, I'm in the water.
I tell you, I tried.
In the
I tried
water.
to take some distance off of the fade and faded it too much.
Too much?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go over that left tree.
There you go.
Oh, it's gone. It's in the water.
Too much?
The minute I hit it, it was gone.
Yeah.
You can just tell.
You had a great line right over the
It was
flag.
great.
God.
I mean, I couldn't swing light enough.
We're no Jordan Spieth.
All right, so that was that. We had a little bit of fun. Like I said, You guys see how small that green is. Both of us trying to get the yards right, hitting a little wedge. But there's no way that playing it in the sim is ever going to give you that perspective. One day we got to get out there. We got to get to Pebble. We got to play it in real life because it's wild how down that hill it is. And then you've got the ocean and the wind coming off the ocean. It's pretty incredible.
We'll get out there.
It's pretty incredible. But speaking of which, getting out there, you want to tell us about this phone call you made?
Yeah, this was great. This clip blew up on TikTok, by the way. It just, people were intrigued, man. I called Pebble Beach last year because I was just curious. And yeah, the prices are on the website, but I had to hear it for myself to believe it. And not all the prices are on the website, so I'm glad I called. But roll this clip because
yeah, guys, check out
incredible.
this.
Good afternoon. Thank you for calling Pebble Beach Resort Reservations. My name is Ryan.
We're looking to come out there in the fall, and we wanted to just get a gauge on cost per for greens fees.
The green fees are going to be as follows. Pebble Beach is $575 per player. Did you know which property you'd like to stay at? I can quote you the base rate.
Let's assume the Pebble Beach location.
So the most economical room option over there is going to start at $980 a night before taxes and fees. That's for a garden view room. The best suite that we probably have would be the Colton suite. That's going to start at $3,100 a night before taxes and fees. So you can get 8 golfers out. If you did book that, that's going to start at $7,280 a night before taxes and fees.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm just taking notes here. So the max in, all in with the greens fee, 575 plus 95 for the bag, plus another, let's call it 60. I'm just trying to do the math in my head here. It's over. It's about $730 in that ballpark. I appreciate all the info. Thanks so much, Ryan.
All right, so $7,200. That's 8 guys. So, I mean, if you split it, okay, but
I'll tell you what. I know I'm going to see in the comments people say they would still pay it.
yeah,
It's Pebble.
And that was one of the major comments that came in that video. Everyone was saying it's Pebble. It's a bucket list course. It's a once in a lifetime for a lot of people. So whatever it costs, it costs. And we had the same experience at the old course. We didn't even flinch at what they said in the pro shop. I think it was like $280 or something. But when are we ever going to get back to the old course anytime soon? So there are times where it doesn't even matter. Yeah. Save your pennies, bucket list course, go for it.
Mike, the medic here, saying if you want to grow the game, make it more cheaper and more accessible. And I agree. And that's why when we try to do is when we do our videos and stuff, we try to do a mix of playing some of these exclusive courses so you guys can see, that experience, and also playing a lot of munis and things like that. So there's different options. But at the end of the day, you get a place like Pebble Beach, it's almost no wonder they charge what they do, because you had made that call a while back, kind of pre-COVID. And even then, I remember you made the call in the spring, and they were booking out at that time at those prices, October.
Yeah.
When they were booking.
Yeah.
So, you think of a course like that from a business perspective, there's as much demand as they can possibly supply.
Oh, absolutely.
So I think
they're going to fill it.
They're going to just do it. But at the end of the day, the good news is there are other courses, there are other places to play. And that's what I love about this game, is that we get to try and play different places. So if one day we get the good fortune of playing Pebble, terrific. If not, I said this the other day, I think the shared experience of being out there with good friends and having some laughs is far more important than the course or the score is any day. But who knows? It is an experience.
It is an experience. We got some great comments flying in. Pete McCann. Oh, this was a little while ago. I saw this somewhere. You're right. We kind of repurposed this. We had this on Twig, our show last year. This is when we did it. So, yeah, man, you got a good eye.
Mike's asking about the vest. This is the new FootJoy with the new spring line. I had to bust it out. I was going to save it for when we go down to Pinehurst, and, now it's a matter of a couple weeks. But today, like I said, this is my California dreaming outfit is what I'm calling it. I'm trying to bring a little bit of warmth here to New Jersey, New York, where it is currently 23 degrees outside, but I'm wearing the palm trees. I'm wearing the Aloha. I'm wearing the vest. Trying to make it warm, guys.
I'm all dark and doldrum over here.
Okay, what do we got next here? So we talked a little bit about that. Oh, one thing, the AM side of it. I don't want to get away from talking about this without talking about the AM, because, again, because of COVID, this is the first time we're not seeing the pros and the amateurs playing together. I thought that meant no AMs, but what it seems like they're doing is that they've got the amateurs playing separately, which I still think is great, because who doesn't want to see where it is, Bill out there?
I mean, are we seeing them on TV, though?
I haven't seen it personally. I've been watching it streaming a little bit on PGA Tour.
Because normally, don't they play with them every day or the first 2 days?
They play together, and they've got the kind of the combined team scores.
Right.
They also play for the individual for the pros, but now they're just doing it separate. But I think it's pretty cool to just see, again, just to see them out there. I find it always entertaining. They lighten the event up.
They definitely do.
There's always a few clips that hit social of something really funny that went on out there. So I like it. Tommy talking about Alfonso. I saw that. Didn't he? He had made eagle, I think, yesterday too, on one of the holes.
Alfonso Ribeiro.
Yeah, I thought I saw him.
Carlton.
Carlton doing the.
Yeah.
I thought I saw him make a eagle somewhere. But look, I mean, I always like the Pro-Am for that component. So I was glad to see that they're still out there, even though they're not playing together.
This is great. I love these.
Gary clarified. He said it was a charity thing only, 6 golfers. So there you go.
Yep.
That sounds right, because that's all I saw. I saw Macklemore out there. Like I said, it just Macklemore you can't miss the way that guy dresses.
Yeah, you can't.
He's too funny, but he's a guy who truly loves the game, and I respect that. All right, so
we got a lot of new people just rolling in for the first time. So cheers, welcome to Coffee and Golf, guys, where we just drink coffee,
pour coffee, jump in the comments. We love to read those comments.
This is like rocket fuel, by the way.
This is.
Woo!
Like,
we got the ratios all wrong.
Yeah, we did it in the dark. We're not the type of guys who should be making our own coffee in here.
We need a caddy for that.
We need a caddy to make coffee.
What else we got here?
Let's talk really quick. The other thing I want to mention about the merch.
Yeah.
So if you guys haven't checked it out, we do put together a new merch store. You can go to golficity.com/merch, or you can click the shop button in the Golficity app. We tried to put some nice new fun designs and styles in there for you guys. And it's just something you guys have been asking for, and we love being able to share it. Plus, any of the proceeds that we get from the merch goes right back into us making the content that we make.
That's it.
We usually use that to just make the videos better and better. You saw some of the new logos we've been fooling around with up here, and there's the link too. Just drop that link in there. That's perfect.
I'll be brutally honest with you guys. There's barely any markup in this merch. We just want you wearing the brand. We appreciate your support as always. Every time we see a Golficity shirt, hat, or hoodie out there, we appreciate that, guys. So thank you.
Yeah, and we've done in the past when we have the meetups and we see someone who shows up in them,
it's
give
awesome.
them a little something.
Yeah.
So it's just great, and we'll forever tell you guys how much we appreciate all the support that you guys have helped us grow.
Absolutely. I couldn't say it anymore. And Pete McCann, who's in the live stream every week, it's beer and golf for Pete because he's out in Japan. But he bought a sweatshirt recently, and it made it out to him. Pete, how long did it take to get there? I see you made a note. I'm just curious. I'm wondering how long did it take to get to Japan. So we'll find out.
They are shipping from the States here, so that's a good question. And like we talked about earlier, like that little clip we played, make sure you guys follow us on TikTok. That's just been our spot to just do fun, weird, wild stuff.
Weird and wild.
So that's been fun. If you guys want to have a little fun, definitely join that. But again, thanks for everybody for joining us. Let's do what do you say we do our Heartbreak of the Week, Mike?
Yeah, let's do it.
So this is the segment that we like to do. Here we go. There you are. Our Heartbreak of the Week. This is the segment we like to do each week. And you guys, thank you, everybody who tags us. When you find those clips on social, you find the Heartbreak of the Week, tag us, hashtag Heartbreak of the Week. Because, I mean, if we can't laugh at ourselves, then what can we really do?
Right.
We've had our share of heartbreaks, that's for sure.
We've had plenty.
So I'm going to play you guys this one, and I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to call this the Headache of the Week.
Here we go.
Did you see this? First of all, what was he thinking with that pole there? And then boom, right in the dome. Oh, God, that had to hurt. And that's in slow-mo. That ball was moving,
That ball was moving. That could have took out an eye, to be honest with you.
That ball was cooking.
But, like, what are the chances? I mean, look at all that open area to hit that ball, and boom, right? It's nice.
Right. He looks like he pushed it a little bit left, but he hit it fairly straight. But, my God, like, why would you put a metal pole right in front of a tee box there?
Yeah.
I mean, the view is beautiful.
It was beautiful. I don't even know if you would get me to even stand on that tee box. But yeah, the
ouch.
Woo! Headache of the week. Is that what you called it?
I'm going to call that the headache of the week. I'll tell you what. So that's the Heartbreak of the Week. Make sure you guys tag us. If you guys see any of those Heartbreaks of the Week, we want to hear about them.
That's great. Yeah, tag us in those because we love seeing them. Pete answered the question. He ordered the sweatshirt at the end of November, and it arrived on Christmas Day. So he put it under the tree for later.
Sometimes you got to wrap your own gift.
That's great.
let's see here. Tom asked a good question. He asked if we ever play some rounds with some of the different followers and subscribers. Obviously, this year we didn't do any of that because of COVID, but that's something we want to work in more. In fact, like trying to get out and play with more of you guys. One of our biggest goals is to put together like a live event at a golf course. You know, we were able to do a couple of meetups before COVID hit, and then we had a ton of them scheduled in 2020 that all got canceled. We had ones in Chicago, Baltimore. We had tons of them planned. Sadly, you know what happened. But as soon as things are safe again, what's very high on our list is getting out there, maybe getting small local groups, 8, 16 people, something like that, where we can get out there and just have some fun on the golf course. So stay tuned, guys. We want to make that happen. We just got to do it the safe way. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Looking forward to that.
Let's see here. Oh, your favorite segment, Mike. Now we get to do making cuts, making
We're
bucks.
gonna hit one of these this week. We were so close last week. I had Xander.
Yeah.
Finished tied for third. You had JT.
And
He's playing
JT,
great.
JT was playing. I thought we talked about last week how he's got a bunch of third place finishes at the Waste Management. I thought he had it, but who can blame the guy? Poor guy found out his grandfather passed away on Sunday, and you could just see it. His head and his heart were not in it Sunday. He really struggled, and I'll tell you what, who can hold it against him? Who wouldn't have struggled in that moment?
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
You find out your
It's a mental
grandfather
game
passed away.
Right.
That's a tough one. So yeah, difficult one, but let's talk about it. Let's dive into it, Mike. So first and foremost,
I get my 30 seconds.
Yeah, I'm going to throw you 30 seconds here on the clock. You tell me who is your making cuts pick.
All right, so I'm going with Jordan Spieth. I know we just talked about it, but he's not a closer. You guys are going to say that, but Sunday we're going to see that you're all wrong. I promise you, because Pebble is a scoreable track, and I think Jordan has his mojo back a bit. We said this before. I said this on SiriusXM a couple weeks ago. I said I'm not going to buy into Jordan unless we see a top 10. Better yet, he gave us a top 4 at the Waste Management. Jordan is back in the winner's circle Sunday.
Yep, and like I said, he's got that swagger back. It was so cool to see him hitting that 4-iron.
It was.
Hitting that eagle hole out. I love to see it. All right, and I'm going to tell you what. My pick of the week is going to be Danny Berger.
Okay, love it.
Where is he right now, Mike? I think he was somewhere around 8th or 11th.
I think he's tied 7.
Right now,
tied 11.
Yeah, and I get it. They haven't switched courses up yet or anything like that, but I think this is a guy who's playing out there with a lot of heart. He's playing with a lot of passion. I think he wants to make that Ryder Cup team, so I think his form is looking good. Look for him to be in the mix. Does he come out on top of this tournament? I don't know, but it's not a super strong field. It's a field that Berger can win against.
That boy wants Ryder Cup.
Let's talk about making cuts, making bucks. He's going to be making cuts. I think you see him somewhere in the top 10, no doubt about it, when this week finishes up.
I love it.
Yeah. So, all right, guys, hope you enjoyed this week's show. We always like to cap it off with making cuts, making bucks. If you got any picks, throw them in the comments. Also, if you're watching this show after the live, join the comments anyway. We check in. We like to answer as many comments as we can, and that's why we like to keep this on there on the platforms so you guys can watch the replays. Remember, we're live every Friday, at least for now, until we get back out there on the golf course, on Facebook, not Instagram. We're trying. Facebook, YouTube, the Facebook group, Twitter, even on Twitch. You can find us on all those locations. Mark your calendar, 10 a.m. Eastern time on Fridays.
I love it.
Love having you guys in the conversation.
And all of you who joined us for coffee this morning, thank you. Cheers. Have an awesome weekend.
Yeah.
And if you can play golf, God bless you. Because we're not.
Jealous of you. Which, by the way, we are going to be swinging clubs today.
We are. We're going to take our own little combine today, right?
Yeah, we're
Skills
heading
assessment?
down to Golf Tech from here to go and to do a little bit of a skills challenge, and we're going to have a video out for you guys really soon. And if you didn't check out our video from Manhattan Woods yesterday, check it out on YouTube, Facebook, or in the Golficity app. I would say, Mike, I rate it way up there, top 3 most fun rounds we've played in at least a year. It was so great to be out there with a good friend with Pete, and it was great to finally play a course we both have been dying to play.
Yeah, score does not matter, like you said, when you're having that much fun out there. So
yeah,
that's a blast. Go check it out.
Go check it out, guys. Thanks for joining us for Friday Coffee and Golf Live, and we'll see everybody again real soon.